Unlocking the hidden truth. Is your strange life a sign of spiritual awakening? I never expected a single dream to change everything. It was like a punch to the gut. I woke up in the dark, gasping, heart racing. The echo of the dream hung in the air, heavy and unsettling. In it, I was standing on the edge of an abyss. Cold winds whipped around me, whispering secrets I couldn't understand. I felt something pulling, a force from within, and yet, I was afraid. My life had always been a strange one. People told me I was different, as if I wore a sign on my forehead that said open for business to the otherworldly. Couldn't deny it. Little things kept happening, strange encounters that nudged my thoughts into a different realm. I'd see shadows dancing in my peripheral vision, hear echoes of laughter where there were none. My friends chalked it up to my imagination, but the truth was, it scared me. One sunny afternoon, I decided to escape to the woods, seeking solace among ancient trees. As I sat cross-legged on the soft earth, sunlight streamed through the leaves, creating patches of gold on the ground. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath, feeling energy pulse through me, a vibrant hum that made the hairs on my arms stand tall. Nature was speaking, but what was its message? Suddenly, a hawk swooped down, sharp and fierce. I felt an electric jolt, a small voice whispering in my mind. What was it trying to tell me? I opened my eyes just in time to see it vanish into the horizon, leaving me in silence, the kind of silence that buzzed, vibrating with unanswered questions. Time crawled as I pondered my life's oddities. Why was everything so interconnected yet baffling? It felt like a puzzle missing its most important piece, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I was on the brink of something colossal. I needed answers, but where to find them? Every sunset bore 1,000 possibilities, every star above a whisper of hope. But among those sparkling lights, shadows still lurked. Then, my phone buzzed, the screen lighting up with a message from a friend. But the words fell flat in my stomach. I had the weirdest dream last night. I froze. Could they be feeling it too? Would it lead me closer to the truth, or just deeper into the unknown? Hey! Before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon, and while you're there, smash that like button. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As dusk fell, I wandered deeper into the woods, the fading light molding everything around me into a realm of shadow and intrigue. Each step felt deliberate, an invitation to explore rather than flee. The whispers of trees enveloped me, coaxing me to listen, to learn. I closed my eyes again, breathing in the earthy scent that laid a groundwork beneath the chaos of my mind. Once more, I waited for nature to unveil her truth. Moments slipped away, and just when I thought silence claimed the space, I noticed a rustling nearby. My eyes snapped open to catch the sleek figure of a fox, threads of twilight weaving through its fur. It stared with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine. I was no longer merely a participant in life's drama. I was a keen observer of something profound, something ancient. The fox's presence felt like a messagier reminder, perhaps. I had been skimming the surface, afraid to plunge into the unknown like that hawk had. As the fox paused, it seemed to shapeshift, a mirage of wonder and caution. I recognized it as a guide, an emblem not of fear, but of transformation. Suddenly, a question stirred in my heart. Was I resisting my own metamorphosis? With each breath, I felt the layers of my existence revealing themselves, the fear, the excitement, the confusion. I wondered, what if strangeness and synchronicity were not hindrances but rather stepping stones toward awakening? Perhaps the shadows that haunted my existence were guides of their own, illuminating areas of my life yet to be explored. I decided to follow the fox, feeling compelled by the kitchen of hope simmering within me. It danced just ahead, leading me down a narrow path hugged tightly by wildflowers and soft moss. I felt as if we were re-entering a dimension of forgotten whispers, where time was a flowing river rather than a ticking clock. What was reality, anyway? An illusion shaped by perception, or perhaps a canvas waiting for each of us to paint our unique strokes. Suddenly, I stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center, stone pillars stood weathered by time, cryptic symbols etched across their surfaces. My pulse quickened. Could this be a place where seekers gathered to decode their dreams, to confront their truths? I traced my fingers over the carvings. They felt warm and alive under my touch. Each symbol resonated with energy, vibrating at frequencies that echoed with unspoken knowledge. Then, a vision washed over my images, flickering like muted film reels. I was standing before a mirror, yet it was no ordinary mirror. It shimmered with colors unknown, reflecting not just my physical form but layers of my soul. In that reflection, I saw shame, joy, fear, lovey, an amalgamation of experiences that were shaping who I was becoming. I turned away, feeling overwhelmed. What should I do with these revelations? What indeed was the invitation being laid before me? Before I could ponder further, the earth beneath my feet thudded softly, and an unexpected rumble filled the air. I turned to see the fox dashing through the trees, glancing over its shoulder as if urging me to follow. The hesitation in my stomach stirred anew. Was I ready for more signs, deeper revelations? Each discovery increased my yearning for clarity but brought with it an equal measure of trepidation. In a single yet unrelenting moment, I realized that curiosity, like the fox, would guide me, but only if I had the courage to chase after its fleeting presence. That evening in the woods, surrounded by the ancient spirits of the land, I reflected on the complexity of life, the intertwined paths of existence, and the questions that had yet to unravel. What happens when we confront our shadows? How do we navigate a reality where strangeness is not merely a sign of awakening, but a call to dance with the unknown? The fox led me deeper into the woods, where the canopy thickened and darkness draped itself like a cloak over the world. As I maneuvered through the undergrowth, a peculiar sensation enveloped me. It felt as though the veil of reality was thinning. Each rustle of leaves stirred my senses, piquing my curiosity. It was as if the forest itself held its breath, waiting for the next ptarmigan of realization to be born. Following the flash of orange ahead, I gasped as I caught sight of a shimmering light flickering in the distance. Light and shadow played a delicate game, clashing and merging in an ethereal dance. My heart raced with excitement and uncertainty. Was this a beacon guiding me toward enlightenment, or a siren calling me deeper into a labyrinth of confusion? I pressed on, my steps steadier now, breathing in the rich aroma of pine and damp earth. The light grew brighter, a soft luminescence splashing against the trunks of ancient trees, and I felt a pull. Something within me was awakening. Could it be that these whispers of the world were reflections of my own soul's deepest questions? Emerging into a glade, I was met with a sight both wondrous and humbling. A circle of stones encircled a delicate pool that mirrored the night sky, stars twinkling in its depths. The universe felt present here, a tapestry woven together by unseen hands. I stepped closer, drawn to the water's tranquility. It was calm, almost too calm, as if it held secrets too profound for the unprepared. As I gazed into the pool, the reflections shifted and morphed, and my heartbeat synced with the pulsing rhythms of time. I saw figures from my past, moments etched in the fabric of memory. Joyous laughter, heated arguments, gentle embraces, profound losses. Each face shimmered like a haunting melody, tugging at the strings of my heart. Had I allowed these experiences to define me, or had they merely been threads in the complex tapestry of my existence? A sudden realization struck me. The peculiar sensations of strangeness I had often shunned were the stirrings of the soul, calling me to delve deeper rather than retreat into the safety of ignorance. The pool's surface rippled as if echoing this realization. I felt an instinctual urge to kneel and touch the water, to connect with the unfolding possibility of my journey. In doing so, I invited clarity, though whether I would find it remained uncertain. As I touched the surface, a cascade of images flooded my mind. Flashes of encounters with people I hadn't known were important, synchronistic moments that lit the path before me and questions that lingered unanswered. Shadows darted at the periphery, a figure loomed beyond the edge of my vision, beckoning me to approach. The fox returned, its eyes shimmering with an ancient wisdom, as if it understood the dimensions of the questions spiraling in my mind. What knowledge lay hidden behind the dance of light and shadow? The pull of curiosity surged once more. I was awakening to the idea that every encounter shaped my path, that every strange feeling or unexpected event was an essential stroke on the canvas of my life. Just then, the world around me grew still, as if time suspended itself. The stars above shared a collective sigh, a reminder of the infinite mysteries woven within the fabric of existence. I pondered how many others wandered through their own woods, seeking understanding, grappling with the strangeness of their journeys, yet feeling alone. What awaits on the other side of this veil? Can we shed the fears that shackle us, embracing the unfamiliar while seeking solace in our shared humanity? As I stood there, enveloped by the shimmering glow and the watchful gaze of the fox, I felt a powerful question stir within me. What if the hidden truths of our lives reside not in their definitions, but in the courage to immerse ourselves wholly in their unfolding? As I withdrew my hand from the cool embrace of the water, a shivering current of awareness rippled through the glade. The fox, ever attentive, took a step closer, its wise gaze urging me to continue my exploration. I felt as though the glade itself was a sacred sanctuary, a place pulsating with the breath of the universe. Each blade of grass, each whispering leaf, seemed to speak to me in a language older than time. Not wanting to linger on the edge of understanding, I turned back to the pool's surface, expecting the reflections to remain unchanged. Yet, they stirred anew, echoing the depth of my contemplation. I saw not only fragments of my past but also glimpses of potential futures, paths branching infinitely like the veins of a leaf reaching for sunlight. These glimpses thrilled me. They spoke of opportunities and choices, the echo of a life where I could reshape the narrative that had long ruled me. As I observed, a figure emerged from the shadows beyond the trees, a woman cloaked in flowing robes of mist and moonlight. Her presence felt both unfamiliar and deeply known. With each step she took towards me, the leaves swayed as if in reverence, and the air buzzed with anticipation. She approached gracefully, her features softened by the play of shadows. "Do not be afraid," she spoke, her voice a gentle caress like the rustling of leaves. "I am here to guide you further into your spirit's quest." "What do you mean?" I asked, the question escaping my lips almost involuntarily. "What do I seek?" She smiled softly, the kind of smile that held years of wisdom and compassion. "You seek not just answers but a communion with every facet of existence itself. You are at the cusp of your awakening, ready to embrace the strange, the surreal, and the transformative within. Each moment is alive with possibility, every heartbeat is a gateway to understanding." I felt a thrum within me, as if her words harmonized with the very pulse of my being. "But what if I falter? What if I am unprepared for what lies beyond the known?" "The unknown is not your enemy," she reassured me, reaching out to touch the surface of the pool. "It holds the key to your liberation. Fear often disguises itself as reason, confining you to the edges of your comfort. Embrace it not with blind faith but as a teacher. Every whisper of uncertainty is the universe inviting you closer to the truth." At that moment, the fox began to step back, guiding me to follow the woman. I felt a powerful nudge of curiosity, and I willingly turned my gaze to the trees that whispered secrets, their bark etched with stories waiting to be uncovered. As the woman led me further into the depths of the forest, I noticed symbols carved into the trunk: spirals, eyes, and stars. Each one stood like a silent sentinel, holding an essence of its own, an invitation to decipher the meanings hidden beneath the surface. She gestured to one intricate designa spiral that seemed to pulse with life. "This is the symbol of your journey, life unfolding in an expansive dance. Each turn represents your trials, triumphs, and connections. You are not linear. You are an ever-evolving spiral. Will you dare to look beyond what is immediate and delve deeper into the cycle of existence?" I nodded, my heart racing at the prospect of what lay ahead. Yet, part of me remained tethered to the shadows of self-doubt. But what if I uncover things about myself that are too dark, too painful to bear? Within those shadows lies the strength to transcend. The woman stated firmly, her eyes reflecting the stars. What you fear to confront holds the essence of your liberation. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it with an open heart. With her words reverberating in my mind and spirit, we continued forward, each step resonating with an energy that felt both alien and familiar. The forest began to shift, the air thickened with possibilities, each scent and sound a reminder of the profound interconnectedness of all things. Then, without warning, we emerged into another clearing, vast and luminous. An ancient tree stood at its heart, its gnarled branches reaching out like welcoming arms. The woman gestured toward it. This tree is a symbol of wisdom and growth. Each ring tells the story of trials and triumphs that have forged its strength. Through understanding your own history, you will discover the power within to unlock the hidden truths of your Lifia truth that dances like shadows and light. My breath caught in my throat. What do I do? Listen, she said, retreating but remaining close enough that I didn't feel alone. Engage with the essence of understanding that surrounds you. What calls to you in this moment of silence? What hidden truths await your discovery? As I approached the great tree, I felt a swell of emotions, curiosity, hope, trepidation, all mingling into a singular focus on that moment. I placed my hand against the rough bark, feeling the pulse of the life it held, and closed my eyes. In the stillness, I was met with an overwhelming question. What if the journey to uncover the hidden truths lay not only in answers, but in the courageous act of seeking itself? The pulse of the ancient tree vibrated beneath my fingertips, a steady rhythm that resonated with my heartbeat, grounding me in this moment of exploration. I could feel the weight of history in its gnarled roots and sprawling branches, as if the very essence of life flowed through it, carrying secrets and lessons from generations past. Taking a deep breath, I opened my heart to the silence that enveloped me. In this stillness, the world around me faded away, and the echoes of soft winds began to weave between the leaves. Each whisper felt like a message, a thread connecting me to something far greater than myself. I became aware of the gentle sway of the branches, as if they were encouraging me to lean into my own inquiry. The woman's presence lingered like the afterglow of a setting sun, a comforting reminder that I was not alone on this path. With my eyes still closed, I delved deeper into my thoughts, asking the still air the questions that often danced within me. What was the purpose of my yearning? Why did I feel trapped between the worlds of reality and dreams? Suddenly, a vision unfolded before me. I saw myself standing on a precipice, high above turbulent seas. The waves crashed violently against the rocks below, but above them, a vibrant sky was painted with colors I had never seen. A rainbow wrapped around the sun, enriching the arching brilliance, a promise of possibility against the backdrop of chaos. Embrace this paradox. A voice echoed from the depths of my spirit. In every turbulence lies beauty. In every discord lies an opportunity for harmony. As the vision faded, I opened my eyes, now bursting with questions. How do I transform the chaos into something more meaningful? The woman emerged from the periphery of my consciousness, her features illuminated in the soft glow of the clearing. Your journey is not linear. It's a tapestry woven from your experiences, some vibrant, others muted. All serve a purpose, each thread connecting you more deeply to the fabric of existence. Yet, I replied, some threads feel frayed, painful, a reminder of grief and loss. How can I honor those without allowing them to consume me? Her gaze was penetrating and serene. Acceptance is the first step. To honor your journey means embracing every thread, even those that bear the scars of your struggle. They deserve recognition, for they are your guides showing you the power of resilience and the beauty of rebirth. In that light of understanding, I realized that I had often shunned the darker threads, wanting instead to weave a narrative filled only with laughter and joy. But life was not merely a sequence of happy moments. It was a dance of light and shadow, each step enhancing the other. Where do I go from here? I asked, feeling the weight of my past fall into a tentative acceptance. In the shadows lie the fragments of your unexpressed dreams, she offered, her voice a gentle wind. Revisit them. What were the whispers of your heart that you silenced? What messages are hidden, waiting to be resurrected? Intrigued, I took a step back, allowing her words to sink in. I am woven from my dreams, both realized and unrealized. The memories flooded my mind and I felt a pull toward the edges of my consciousness, lost ambitions, broken aspirations, and unexplored passions intertwining like vines, waiting for the sunlight of my resolve to nourish them. Reflect on this, the woman suggested, her eyes alight with encouragement. With time, many dreams may shift, fade, or transform, but that doesn't negate their existence. Rather, they become layers of your wisdom. What new revelations can be sparked from this introspection? As I leaned against the ancient tree once more, I sensed a new energy swirling around me. I envisioned these dreams as creatures of light, flickering spirits eager to be acknowledged. I thought deeply about my choices, the roads I had taken, and the ones I had abandoned. Would reopening those doors illuminate the shadows and help weave my tapestry anew? Yet, as each revelation surfaced, a lingering question danced in my mind: what if, in uncovering those dreams, I found pieces of myself that were hollow and distant, remnants of a past I wished to forget? The fox appeared at my side, its presence a gentle nudge, urging me towards the next step of my journey. This intersection was not merely an end. It was an invitation to navigate the labyrinth of my own spirit. With each thrum of the tree beneath my hand, I felt the stirrings of courage urging me onward. I knew self-discovery was fraught with uncertainties, yet the desire to unlock the hidden truths within me pulsed fiercely. In that clearing, under the watchful gaze of the ancient tree, I realized I must confront not only the fears that tethered me, but also the dreams I had buried. In that moment of clarity, I posed a new question to the universe. What truths lie dormant within my shadows, waiting for the courage of my spirit to ignite their awakening? The sun dipped below the horizon, casting ripples of amber light between the branches of the ancient tree. I stood in that sacred space, feeling the vibrational pulse resonate not just in my fingertips but throughout my entire being. In this liminal moment, the world took on a surreal qualia, rich tapestry of colors and textures blended together, each hue a reminder of the complexity of existence. As night descended, the clearing transformed into a mystic realm. Stars began to twinkle above, each one holding stories of countless wanderers who had come before me. I could hear the gentle whisper of the wind, as if it were inviting me to join the ancient dance of cosmological interplay. With each breath, I inhaled the possibilities woven into the fabric of the universe. Suddenly, a rustling from the thicket caught my attention. A luminous being emerged, its form shifting and shimmering as it moved like mist caught in moonlight. I felt a wave of serenity wash over me as it approached, a gentle pulse radiating warmth that made my heart flutter with anticipation. "Have you come seeking answers, dear traveler?" the being asked, its voice resonating with an ethereal quality. "I'm searching for the hidden truths within my shadows," I confessed, feeling a mixture of trepidation and eagerness. "I want to understand what lies beneath the surface of my life and the dreams I've neglected." It replied, nodding knowingly. "To unlock the dormant truths is to embark on a pilgrimage of the soul. But first, you must confront the veils obscuring your vision. What do you fear?" The question hung in the air, heavy with meaning. I could feel my pulse quicken as the realization dawned on me. I fear falling into the abyss of grief and lost aspirations. What if uncovering these truths only reveals more darkness? What if I cannot bear the weight of my past? The being's eyes glimmered with compassion. "It is natural to fear the unknown. But remember, even darkness serves its Purposian essential counterpart to the light. You cannot truly embrace your power without facing the shadows. They hold the wisdom of your journey." That I felt the tension in my chest ease slightly as I pondered its words. Many lives were lived in the shadows, weren't they? Each scar bore witness to a battle endured, a resilience forged from pain. What if, like a phoenix, I could emerge stronger? What if the shadows held the keys to a greater understanding, to a reconnection with my unfulfilled dreams? Hope is your guiding star, dear one. The being continued, its form swirling like smoke in the night air. Let it guide your steps as you embark upon this journey of introspection. What would happen if you dared to ask for guidance from your past selves? What wisdom might that bring forth? With every question, I felt the ground beneath me shift, precipitating an inner awakening. I envisioned reaching back to those fragments of my history, the person who had not been afraid to dream, the child who danced in the rain, the adolescent who sketched grand designs of a life not yet lived. Each version of me held the echoes of dreams unfulfilled, swirling like constellations in the night. I am ready, I proclaimed softly, glancing at the star-filled sky. But how do I navigate through the veil of my own mind? How can I recognize the masks I have worn out of fear or inadequacy? The being gestured toward the ancient tree, its presence radiating like a lighthouse in the night. Know this, you need not walk this path alone. The roots of your being are intertwined with the essence of all creation. Call upon your guides, your dreams, your hopes, your grief, for they will illuminate your journey. Embrace meditation and reflection as your compass. They will help you uncover what lies beneath the surface. As its shimmering form began to fade into the tranquil night, I felt the sparks of inspiration igniting deep within. The unknown suddenly seemed less daunting, more appealing. A treasure trove of transformative experiences awaited my exploration. I closed my eyes once more, envisioning each dream returning to me, draped in the wisdom of time. Yet, a question lingered in the stillness of the night, echoing through the vastness of my consciousness. How do I ensure I honor not only my triumphs but also the grief that will guide me towards growth, allowing the shadows to illuminate the pathway to my truth? As dawn broke, the soft glow of light began to filter through the branches, casting delicate patterns on the forest floor where I stood. The air was heavy with the earthy scent of dew, mingling with the promise of new beginnings. I felt rejuvenated, buoyed by the whispers of the previous night's revelations, like echoes of a forgotten promise rising to the surface. Purposefully, I walked towards the ancient tree, drawn to its sturdy trunk with the fervor of a seeker. The tree, with its gnarled roots and arching limbs, seemed to resonate with the same eternal frequency as my own soul. I laid my palm against its rough bark, feeling the gentle hum of energy that connected all living things. It was as if the tree had silently witnessed countless stories of growth and decay, much like my own journey. Here, in this sacred space, my fears began to unfurl like the petals of a blossoming flower. Guide me, I whispered, my words soft yet resolute. An invocation for insight to lead me through the unfolding chapters of my life. In my mind's eye, I recalled the luminous being, its cosmic wisdom reverberating through my heart. The echoes of its voice lingered, urging me to confront my fears and to attune myself to the part of me that had always been searching for meaning, connections, and truths that had eluded me. Just then, a rustling sound drew my attention. A small creature emerged from the underbrush, a fox with fur like molten gold, eyes glimmering with ancient wisdom. It paused for a heartbeat, as if assessing my essence before it gently approached. I watched in awe as it sat before me, embodying an effortless grace. Suddenly, the fox seemed to channel the spirit of a guide, bridging the seen and the unseen. Do you wish to understand the language of your own heart? It asked, its voice smooth yet fragmented, like the songs of the wild carried by the wind. Yes, I answered. But I often feel as if my heart is tangled in shadows, caught in webs of doubt and uncertainty. The fox tilted its head, its expression both curious and knowing. Sometimes, a journey inward reveals truths that echo outward. What if you were to follow the signs already laid before you? The dreams, the losses, the whispers of the past? What if in surrendering to your own narrative, you discovered a path that leads through the shadows instead of around them? I pondered this, feeling a stirring within me. Gratitude warmed my heart. I realized that every experience, whether joyous or painful, had intricately woven a rich tapestry that celebrated my existence. Labyrinths of choices had led me to this moment, where a delicate thread of hope began connecting the dots of my life. What must I do? I questioned, leaning into the fox's presence, craving further guidance. Walk the path of remembrance. It replied, its gaze unwavering. Recall those moments that stirred your spirit, even if they were wrapped in sorrow. Embrace the discomfort, for it is there that you will find your truest self. Only then will you understand how the hidden bits of your life are part of a greater whole. With newfound clarity, I took a deep breath, understanding that each scar, each unfulfilled dream was vital to the narrative I was crafting. They could no longer remain shackled by apprehension or unworthiness. I needed to cherish them as part of my essence weights and wings intertwined. The fox stood, and with an elegant flick of its tail, beckoned me to follow. I took a step forward, allowing the creature to lead me into the deeper thicket of the woods. My heart raced with anticipation. What memories were waiting to be uncovered? What forgotten dreams would rise from the depths of my shadowed corners? I felt the vibrant energy of the earth pulsating beneath me, alive with the mystery of life itself. Each step was imbued with purpose, an invitation to explore the recesses of my own soul. The path became a sanctuary of reflection, an altar where I could honor every fragment of who I had been and who I was becoming as the sunlight began to dance playfully through the leaves. I took a moment to reflect on the journey ahead. What if each recollection, each fragment of my past, was not merely a remnant of loss but a beacon lighting my way? Would I possess the courage to invite those buried aspects of myself back into the light? Could my hidden truths guide me toward the unfolding narrative of my highest self? The questions stirred within me, resonating with the mystery yet unresolved. In this sacred dance between shadows and light, I sensed I was only beginning to unlock the hidden truth. With the fox leading the way, the canopy overhead thickened, cloaking us in a verdant embrace. Sunbeams struggled to penetrate the tapestry of leaves, crafting a serene twilight among the ferns and wildflowers. Each step felt sacred, a sifting through the stories etched deep within my being. The air vibrated with whispers, ancient and hallowed, summoning memories long buried beneath layers of experience. I opened myself to their emergence, allowing the tender tendrils of emotion to surface. The fox glanced back at me, its eyes a pool of knowing, urging me to stay presento feel fully, without judgment. As I walked, images began to flicker through my mind like fragments of a dream unraveling. My younger self, curled up in a corner with a book, dreaming of distant worlds. The thrill of laughter shared with friends beneath a starlit sky. The bittersweet sting of goodbyes whispered across the years. Each memory pulsed with a life of its own, resonating through my heart like the notes of a forgotten song. Why does it feel so overwhelming? I asked the fox, feeling the weight of the past pressing against me. It is the heart's way of breaking open, illuminating the shadows that you have withheld from the light, it replied gently. What if the burdens you carry are not weights, but rather keys to understanding your deeper essence? They hold the wisdom of who you are and have always been. Taking in a steadying breath, I allowed the memories to wash over me, cradled by the voice of the fox, echoing reminders of interconnectedness between all beings. I realized I was not alone in this emotional journey. Countless others walked a similar path, each wrestling with their own shadows and searching for clarity. Perhaps our struggles were the fibers that wove us together, each thread contributing to the grand tapestry of existence. As we navigated through the thicket, a shimmering light caught my attention, drawing us toward a small clearing blanketed in delicate bluebells. They swayed gently, as if dancing to a melody only they could hear. I sensed something sacred in this space, as if the veil between realms grew thin, inviting me to witness the unseen. In the center of the clearing stood a stone altar, adorned with moss and adorned trinkets left behind by time, tokens of love, loss, and wishes. In this serene spot, instinct guided me to kneel before the altar, my heart racing in reverence. I reached out, my fingers tracing the cool surface, feeling the pulse of stories embedded in the very fibers of the earth. What is the purpose of this altar, guide? I turned to the fox, seeking answers from the wisdom it imparted. It is a mirror of your journey, a reminder that every experience, every joy and sorrow deserves to be honored and celebrated. The sacred is not always found in grand gestures but in the quiet acknowledgement of our truths. The impulse to offer something of my own stirred within me, a desire to contribute to this living tapestry. Searching my pockets, I found a small stone, smooth and round, a reminder of the shores I had frequented in happier times. I placed it upon the altar, a symbol of gratitude for the shores I wished to revisit, and for the beauty of resilience that had carried me thus far in that moment. A gentle breeze swept through the clearing, rustling the leaves overhead and caressing my skin with a sense of affirmation. I closed my eyes and leaned into the sensations, reaching deeper for the wellspring of my spirit. What followed was an awakening of longing, an echo of purpose urging me to go beyond the comforts of the known, into the expansive unknown. "What do you seek next?" the fox inquired, pulling me from my reverie with its unwavering gaze. "I seek understanding," I replied, my voice both steady and vulnerable. "But what does understanding mean if it comes at the cost of losing the mystery of my journey?" The fox tilted its head, a semblance of a smile playing at the corners of its mouth. "To seek understanding is to embrace the dance of knowing and not knowing. Every revelation may add to your wisdom, yet the joy lies in the exploration. The layers of life unraveling within you act as a continuous thread. In each unwinding lie not answers, but invitations into deeper questions." As we stood together in that enchanted clearing, enveloped in the present moment, a question germinated within me. Could it be that my search for meaning resided not in definitive answers but in the ever-unfolding nature of my own spirit's journey? Would embracing the uncertainty lead me to uncover a grander truth that tethered my existence to the cosmos? With each heartbeat resonating with the echoes of the past, I felt the pulse of potential surge through me. The whispers of my journey were far from over. This was merely a chapter in the story of my awakening. I stepped into the embrace of the forest with renewed determination, ready to uncover the layers yet to be revealed and the wisdom hidden within each unanswered question. The forest deepened as we moved forward, the path becoming obscured with tangled roots and protruding stones, mirroring the complexity of my own thoughts. The weight of unasked questions hung in the air like the low mist weaving through the undergrowth. The fox moved ahead with its silent grace, seemingly unbothered by the obstacles littering our way. Reminding me to navigate my own journey with equal poise, I realized that with every breath I took, more layers were peeling away, memories surfacing not just from the past, but from spaces in my soul where fears and aspirations coexisted. The forest was alive with lessons cloaked in verdant wisdom. Each rustling leaf and distant call of a bird ignited a curiosity within me, urging exploration, not just outward but inward. What else lay buried within the depths of my heart waiting to be unveiled? As we traversed a particularly steep incline, I stumbled, my palms pressing against the cool earth for support. It was here, at this small moment of vulnerability, that I noticed something peculiar nestled among the roots. A tiny, iridescent beetle. Its shell shimmered with colors unseen in the modern world, radiating a light of its own. It scuttled about, seemingly carefree amidst a complexity of tangled life. "Look!" I exclaimed, captivated by its beauty. "What does it signify?" The fox paused and approached, its nose twitching thoughtfully. "Every creature carries a message, an echo of the universe's wisdom. What do you see in its presence?" I pondered, feeling the raw energy of this being so small yet so vibrant. "Thrives here, in this wildness. It seems unperturbed by the chaos around it." "Indeed," the fox affirmed. "Much like your spirit, it embodies the essence of resilience and authenticity in the midst of uncertainty. Thrives, not in denying the chaos, but by harmonizing with it. What might it teach you about your own struggles?" Breathing deeply, I began to recognize the beauty in embracing what felt strange and chaotic in my life. The beetle's existence sparked a realization that perhaps I was meant to thrive in the turbulence rather than seek escape. Still, shadows loomed, hinting at beliefs that had lingered like clouds over my understanding of what it meant to live authentically. What if my path diverges too far from the norms I've known? I cautiously posed, hesitating over the precipice of self-doubt. The fox circled back to my side, wise and patient. "What if you discovered that true fulfillment lies in your willingness to veer off course? The norms, while comforting, often bind us to illusions of certainty. What if the strangeness you fear is simply a guide, leading you toward uncharted territories of self? The thrum of my heart accelerated at the very thought. Could it be that the peculiarities of my life were divine nudges toward a purpose waiting in the wings? The beetle's dance among entangled roots flourished not despite the perceived disorder, but because of it. Moving further into the forest, an overwhelming surge of freedom enveloped me. It washed over me like sunlight breaking through clouds. I understood that my quest for understanding was more than a pursuit of knowledge. It was entwined with an invitation to embrace every unanswerable question bubbling beneath the surface. Yet just as I felt the thrill of exploration energizing my spirit, shadows flickered at the edges of that light, doubts intertwining with the hopes ignited by my realizations. What was the nature of this strangeness if not a harmonizing reflection of my true self? Could I unravel this mystery without succumbing to the fears that whispered, reminding me of safety's allure? As the forest grew thicker around us, branches cocooning our path, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being led onward, deeper into the exploration of my own spirit. What awaited me in the heart of my journey? A hidden truth, ever elusive? The question lingered in the air, suspended like the glimmering dew clutching spiderwebs. I understood now that each step taken in curiosity drew me closer to both revelations and uncertainties, and thus began to see them not as opposing forces but as vital companions on this remarkable journey of becoming. And so, we walked on together, me and the fox, into the whispering unknown, where questions reign supreme and spirit thrives amidst the strange. As the last rays of sunlight faded, a tranquil stillness settled over the forest. The path we followed became a woven tapestry of twilight hues, stretching outward like the dreamscape within my own mind. With each careful step, the essence of discovery continued unfolding before me, coaxing forth the layers of my spirit yet to be unveiled. My heart felt light, buoyed by the sacredness of this journey and the insight gleaned from my encounters, the wise fox, the luminous being, and the iridescent beetle. They had shown me that life's strangeness was not an obstacle but an invitation, an opportunity to embrace every nuance of existence. As we ventured down a meandering trail, I sensed a shift in the air, a current shimmering with promise. The forest began to breathe, exhaling warmth like the sigh of an old friend. In that soft embrace, I recognized the familiar tug of self-reflection, beckoning me to honor the whispers echoing within. And yet, shadows still danced on the edges of my thoughts, remnants of doubt that wrestled with my ever-growing resolve. "Where are you taking me, dear fox?" I whispered, feeling both the weight and freedom of my inquiry. Was I ready to confront the ultimate truth awaiting me at the heart of this journey? The fox paused, its amber gaze filled with an ancient knowing. "We are drawing closer to the sacred mirror," it replied, its voice a melodic rhythm that resonated like a heartbeat against the pulse of the earth. "The mirror reflects not just who you are, but also who you can become when you embrace the totality of your being." The light and the shadows intertwined. An exhilarating tremor of anticipation surged through me. The sacred mirror, this metaphorical tool of truth, felt like the culmination of my quest. What depths lay within that reflection? As I confronted the prospect of seeing my true self, a surge of vulnerability washed over me. What if I uncovered aspects I was unprepared to accept? The forest began to thin, revealing a clearing bathed in soft luminescence. There stood an enormous tree, its gnarled trunk wide and enveloping, centered before me like a guardian of the wisdom threaded through time. A shimmering pool lay at its root, still and magical. Its surface mirrored the night sky, paraded with stars twinkling like scattered jewels. "Here we are," the fox announced gently. "This is your sacred mirror, a portal to understanding, a reflection of all that you are and yet to be. Approach with open heart and mind, and invite your truths to surface." I stepped forward, every heartbeat echoing in my ears. Looking into the pool, I gasped as ripples played across its surface. The reflections danced and twisted, blurring past and present, threading together the tapestry of my life. I saw myself as a child, filled with wonder, a teenager lost in longing, an adult quietly battling through wounds and fears. Yet in each facet of these reflections lay something more, the resilience embedded in my very essence, the unyielding light that shimmered beneath the layers of uncertainty. Embrace what you see, the fox encouraged, standing firm beside me. Every image here is a chapter of your story, the joys and sorrows that shape you, teaching you the intricate language of your soul. Tears prickled my eyes as I absorbed the depths of the truth that emerged from the pool. I wept not from sadness, but from the profound acceptance blossoming within. Every fragment of my past, the laughter, the tears, the strange synchronicity spoke to me now like a beloved friend, reminding me of the grace wrapped around my imperfections. I felt a stirring realization that the journey was not about achieving something more, but about awakening to all that already was. I see it now, I whispered, a wave of warmth filling my heart. This strangeness, these struggles each are essential threads woven into my existence. They are not just obstacles. They are gifts in disguise, illuminating my path toward authenticity. With that revelation came Clarissa, deep understanding that the shadows I once feared were not enemies, but allies guiding me home. I could embrace the chaos, dance with the unknown, allowing it to lead me toward a life that was not only meaningful but truly mine. I turned to the fox, my heart swelling with gratitude. Thank you for guiding me through this forest and into my heart's truth. You have opened my eyes to the power of acceptance. The fox nodded, wisdom shimmering in its eyes. The journey does not end here. It is always evolving, expanding through the choices you make. Remember, each time you honor your truth, no matter how strange it leads you closer to the essence of who you truly are. In embracing life with all its contradictions, you create space for joy, for growth, and for love. This is your awakening. As if in sync with our conversation, the winds shifted, revealing the golden hues of dawn breaking on the horizon beyond the trees. The light poured into the clearing, illuminating the shimmering pool and casting ethereal reflections across the clearing, the start of a new chapter. I breathed deeply, allowing peace to wash over me as hope fluttered like a fragile bird, ready to take flight. With my heart ignited by clarity, I stepped away from the sacred mirror, feeling the weight of the past start to lift, a sense of release replacing it. The journey ahead would be illuminated by the truths I had unearthed, and I was ready to embrace whatever strangeness life had in store. As I left the clearing, the gaze of the fox lingered in my heart. I may walk this path alone, but I would never truly be alone. I carried the wisdom of the forest, the guidance of my experiences, and the knowing that the strangeness in my life was a testament to my journey, a dance with the cosmos, echoing a simple truth. We are all here to awaken, to evolve, and to beautifully intertwine in this sacred tapestry of existence. With a final glance at the horizon where the sun lifted its golden face, I turned towards the path ahead, ready to embrace the unfolding narrative of my life. I felt an exuberant wave of gratitude for each moment that had led me here, knowing deep within that the soul's unfolding is a magnificent adventure, a journey guided by shadows toward the light. And as I ventured forth into the day, I whispered to the wind, I am ready to embrace the strangeness, for within it lies the hidden truth of my heart.